The principle known as the backward law suggests that the more intensely we chase something, the more likely we are to feel frustrated or worse off than before. This concept runs counter to the familiar belief that persistence and hard work inevitably lead to success and happiness. Instead, it proposes that there's a threshold to how much effort we should exert, and that sometimes, stepping back and letting things unfold naturally is the wiser path. It's all about recognizing when ambition turns into overexertion. Alan Watts, a British thinker and speaker, played a pivotal role in introducing Eastern philosophies like Buddhism, Taoism, and Advaita Vedanta to Western audiences. His insights helped bridge cultural and philosophical divides, earning him admiration for his clarity and depth. One of Watts' most striking ideas aligns with the backward law. Drawing from various spiritual traditions, he emphasized the importance of letting go of desire to find peace and fulfillment. Though rooted in Taoist and Zen teachings, Watts distilled the idea simply: the harder you try to grasp something, the more it slips away. This principle applies to how we channel our energy and focus. Often, when we stop forcing outcomes, we begin to receive what we truly need. The backward law invites us to reflect on our deeper motivations and question what we genuinely seek from life, and why. Rather than chasing superficial goals, it encourages us to pursue meaning and inner satisfaction. Many of us struggle to articulate what we truly want, which is why this law doesn't tell us to stop striving altogether. It urges us to redirect our energy toward authentic desires. It calls for a deeper examination of our ambitions until we understand their significance. The backward law is a tool for exploring our inner drives, helping us distinguish between surface-level wants and core needs. It prompts us to ask, why do I want this? What do I expect to gain? Does this align with my values? Through such introspection, we can uncover mismatches between what we think we want and what we actually need, leading to wiser choices and a more fulfilling life. First, the relentless pursuit of happiness can backfire. Contrary to popular belief, happiness isn't always the result of achieving specific goals. In fact, constantly chasing it may leave us less content than simply allowing ourselves to experience joy without conditions. Second, anxiety often stems from our attempts to control everything around us. This habit blinds us to the limits of our influence, and we end up imposing our will on emotions and external events, only heightening our stress. By releasing control, we open the door to self-acceptance and inner calm. Third, the desire for wealth loses its meaning when we obsess over becoming rich. The more we fixate on money, the poorer we feel, regardless of our actual financial status. True wealth is a mindset. Many people tie their happiness to milestones like earning a degree, climbing the career ladder, buying a home, or starting a family. This creates the illusion that joy lies somewhere in the future. We often postpone happiness, thinking, once I achieve this, I'll be happy. This leads to a cycle of endless waiting, where happiness always seems just out of reach. Social media amplifies this feeling, as we see others seemingly achieving more, faster, making us doubt our own progress. But it's crucial to remember that happiness isn't dictated by external factors, it's an internal state. It's available to us at any moment, if we learn to appreciate what we have and stay present. Finally, shifting our focus from seeking love to understanding ourselves creates the space for love to enter naturally. Knowing our values and needs helps us recognize the kind of love that truly resonates with us. Arthur Schopenhauer, a German philosopher, argued that the human tendency to endlessly pursue desires, while simultaneously fueling them, is irrational. He believed that all beings are expressions of a fundamental will to live, which drives us to seek satisfaction in countless ways. In Schopenhauer's view, this will is a powerful, aimless, and irrational force. It's the root of suffering and cannot be soothed by worldly pleasures. He claimed that we're haunted by a compulsive urge to acquire more than we need, driven by a persistent sense of lack. This craving is insatiable and never fully satisfied, leading to a life marked by constant dissatisfaction and unrest. Schopenhauer saw liberation from this cycle as possible only by detaching from the will, a goal he considered the highest purpose of human existence. Our minds perceive lack when the present moment feels incomplete. This sense of deficiency pushes us to seek comfort in imagined scenarios that promise greater pleasure. Yet, once we reach those situations, we often find ourselves back in the same discontent we tried to escape. Thus, intense pleasures are deceptive. They offer fleeting relief but no lasting fulfillment. To apply the backward law effectively, affirmations can sometimes help. But they must align with your current beliefs to be useful. Repeating, "I'm a millionaire," won't work if you don't truly believe it. Your conscious mind will reject the statement, preventing it from reaching your subconscious, and ultimately sabotaging your efforts. The key to success at that level lies in shifting focus away from the outcome and toward the process that leads there. Rather than obsessing over the end goal, it's more productive to align your actions with your purpose and treat each step as part of the journey. For instance, if your aim is to attract more clients to your business, every website visit, phone inquiry, or message should be seen as progress. Focusing on these small wins helps condition your subconscious for growth and abundance, rather than scarcity. Harmonizing desire with imagination is essential for achieving meaningful results. Focusing too intensely on a specific desire can sometimes hinder progress. When our attention is locked on future outcomes, we may overlook the importance of using imagination to map out the steps that lead us there. In moments when we long for something missing in our lives, the challenge often lies in believing that such aspirations can be realized through visualization. The ability to distinguish between wanting something and genuinely believing in its attainability is crucial for applying the backward law effectively. Desire and imagination must work in harmony. While persistence and effort are admirable, lacking belief or the inability to envision success can block the path forward. To truly move toward a goal, one must be able to both picture it and trust in its possibility. This calls for a deeper look into our subconscious. Napoleon Hill once noted that the subconscious mind operates continuously, whether we're awake or asleep. Joseph Murphy, in his book The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, offers a vivid example: walking across a plank laid flat on the ground. Most people can do this easily, since there's no real consequence for losing balance. In this case, the desire to walk across the plank aligns with the imagination, which confidently visualizes the act. The task is completed effortlessly. Now imagine that same plank suspended 2 meters above the ground between two walls. Suddenly, the stakes are higher. Although the desire to cross remains, the imagination now conjures images of falling and getting hurt. This internal conflict, between conscious intent and subconscious imagery, can create resistance. Our subconscious, which governs the vast majority of our thoughts and behaviors, begins to doubt. As Buddha taught, we must stay rooted in the present. Don't dwell on the past or obsess over the future, focus on the now. Anticipatory anxiety arises when we face unfamiliar or uncertain situations and feel unsure about how to respond. It leads to stress and worry about what lies ahead, a common experience for many. And it's not always easy to manage. Anxiety can manifest physically through symptoms like sweating, trembling, or a racing heart. It can also trigger negative thoughts, fear, doubt, insecurity, that intensify the discomfort. Managing this type of anxiety often requires letting go of conscious control, which isn't always simple. But with the right tools, like mindfulness and relaxation techniques, we can learn to navigate it and improve our mental well-being. To strike a better balance between conscious and subconscious decision-making, it helps to shift our perspective. When fear and anxiety take hold, our minds tend to spiral into worst-case scenarios, creating physical tension and unease. These emotions activate the sympathetic nervous system, triggering the fight-or-flight response. But redirecting our focus to something calming, like nature, can bring us back to the present. This shift allows us to observe our thoughts and feelings without being consumed by them. When we concentrate on something peaceful and beautiful, we engage the parasympathetic nervous system, which promotes relaxation and reduces stress. This kind of attention shift also helps regulate emotions, making it easier to manage negative states. Research shows that noticing beauty in the world around us sparks positive emotions and enhances overall well-being. Within each of us lies a deeper, more stable core, beyond fleeting thoughts and feelings. By focusing on what's beautiful, we reconnect with that inner steadiness and recognize that fear and anxiety are temporary. When we understand that everything in the universe is interconnected, we begin to see that our reality is shaped by our own perceptions. Moving forward requires embracing this truth and expressing gratitude for all that life offers. Challenges and obstacles aren't threats. They're opportunities to grow and understand ourselves more deeply. This mental shift creates the ideal conditions for intuitive and subconscious processes to guide our actions. Over time, we can learn to make decisions instinctively, leading to a more natural and fluid way of living. Take driving, for example. Learning to drive can be daunting at first. There's a lot to absorb, and it takes practice. But eventually, our brains adapt to the movements, and driving becomes second nature. That's why people can talk, sing, or multitask while behind the wheel, though they still need to stay alert. The same applies when we enter a state of flow. In flow, our actions feel effortless, as if we're on autopilot, like musicians merging with their music or dancers becoming one with their movements. When we overthink, we disrupt this balance and make it harder to access flow. Too much mental interference creates barriers, leading to self-doubt and excessive criticism. Constantly being caught in our own thoughts can block the instinctive processes that support flow. That's why releasing excessive conscious control is essential. It allows our intentions to guide us without interfering with the automatic, intuitive systems that help us perform at our best. Seneca wisely said that true happiness lies in enjoying the present without being chained to future expectations. The more we try to hold on to something, the more it slips away. When we learn to let go and stop micromanaging every aspect of our lives, we begin to truly inhabit the moment. And in that space, we find more time and clarity to focus on what's right in front of us.